is Lynn Wilson with Lynn Wilson Originals, and today I thought I'd come on with a couple of announcements and also to share a couple of tips on doing whitewash terracotta pots. So let me get started with that. I am just using here a combination of primer. It's like Zinsser primer and water. And this is sat in the refrigerator, so I'm going to add a little bit more water to it. And you can always adjust the amount of water for the color you want. So you want something more white, just have more paint or more primer. You can definitely use white paint as well. I just had this primer and it's not quite as expensive as my chalk paint. So that's what I opted to use. And getting my gloves on because this gets kind of messy. When you're doing this, you want to make sure that you're periodically stirring your paint and your mixture because the paint tends to settle on the bottom. And then I just use a rag. I used a brush and I got a lot of brush strokes and I didn't like the way it looked. So I tried with a rag and I got a better result. So I'm just going to do some of these little ones so you can see, hopefully you can see what that's looking like. It's going on fairly light. So I want it to look a little bit darker at the bottom. The best way to hold these or even larger pots is just put your hand inside of them. And you can do multiple coats. And I kind of like a little bit of the terracotta showing through. And I'm just going to kind of hit the edge here and just inside cover up the 29-cent price tag. And then I'll let that dry and I can put another coat on. The one thing about using primer versus chalk paint is it does have a little bit of an odor. I love painting with chalk paint because there's no odor. So I'll just let those sit. And here's some that I've worked on already. And they're fairly, probably has a little bit more white on there than I would like. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to take, this is 80 grit sandpaper. I'm just going to try to sand some of that off. So you see a little bit more of the terracotta is showing through. It's actually nice when you get some that have been used before and there's a little bit of texture to them because then the texture stands out. Like this one was brand new, so it's kind of hard to make it look aged. You can see there kind of how the texture, there's a ridge here and it's showing through. I've used the entire transfer on pieces of furniture and then I have these little pieces left that I've cut. I thought this one was cute. It says Home Sweet Home. And so I'm just going to put that one thing I need is a burnisher. I might be able to do it with this popsicle stick. I'm just going to kind of eyeball it. Yeah, this is working to burnish it on. You can kind of see when it's sticking because it turns color. It turns like a lighter gray. So I just put a little decoration on here. And another thing that I'm going to do, and I'll go ahead and get this mixed up and let it start to dry, is I'm going to put some molds on here. I think a bird would look pretty, kind of appropriate for a potted plant. And the way I'm going to create these is with resin. This is Amazing Casting Resin by, I don't know how to say it, Aluminite. So you mix these equal parts of both of these, and for some reason, even though it's equal parts, I always end up with some left over of one bottle and not the other. I can't quite figure that out. But, and I do wear gloves for this because this stuff is really sticky, and I also don't think it's very good for you because it says caution irritant. But I'm just gonna go ahead, it comes with these little measuring cups. It comes with like 3, but if you run out, I have little plastic Dixie cups and I'll mark on there how far to fill it. So I'm gonna go ahead and do the full amount here, which is 30 millimeters, 30 milliliters. In the past, I've been like, I'm just gonna mix a whole bunch up, but it takes really fast. And sometimes it starts setting before I can even get it all in the molds. And the other thing is, if you decide you want to make more, use a fresh Dixie cup or a fresh plastic cup. It seems like when you use the same one over, so you can see it's already starting to take, oops, I'm holding it too high. It's gonna turn white. And you can actually feel the heat in the cup. But again, it comes with these little popsicle sticks. I get a whole bunch of them at the dollar store when I run out. And then hopefully you can see the mold here. You don't want to overfill it. So you just want to get to the edge. And sometimes I'll use my popsicle stick to try to push it into all the corners of the mold. One of the reasons you don't want to overfill is this is the surface that you're going to be adhering to your pot or your piece of furniture. And so if it's overfilled, it's going to kind of pop up, and then it's hard to get it flat. So that's good. Do another little bird here. That looks good. And then I also thought some of these leaves might look nice on one. I get these from Redesign with Prima. And you can find that on like Etsy. See, it's already sitting up in my container, so I want to show you this so at least you can not make this mistake. I didn't pour quick enough. And see, it's already set up. So my birds are setting up. And I think I can pop this one out because they turn white when they set up. And when I'm doing furniture transfer or furniture molds, I really let them get hard. But here, because it's going to have to fit, I'm going to have to mold it around this piece, and it's got a curve to it. I want to pick it up while it's kind of still soft. I did a couple of these, and let them get too hard, and then I couldn't get them to mold. So I'm gonna just grab some glue. I use the Titebond 2 because it's water resistant. I've also tried using this kind of like, it's called Stick Fast, but it's like super glue, and it can get real messy real quick. So I prefer to use Titebond. I found that things can slide a little. Let that one sit. These others are not quite ready to come out yet, but it will be a similar process. So hope that was helpful. Again, let me know what time would be good for you to watch live tutorials and what you'd like to see, because this is for you. Have a great day. Bye-bye.